Hello? Oh, I love this guy. Kangaroos are out here, man.
What is the one thing worse than a spider?
No.
Biggest spider.
I don't like it. No, hard stop. No.
Most certified Australian moment I've ever seen. That.
No, I'm not a kangaroo.
I don't think it gets much worse than neurotoxin to the nuts.
The butthole, man. The butthole would hurt. No, one of the most sensitive parts of your body is your butthole. Okay, hi. Thank you. Okay, so story time. No one's allowed to laugh at me, okay? You can't laugh at me. My ADHD struck again. Whole time last night, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to get ready for that dentist appointment. And let me turn this off for a second. I get ready for this dentist appointment. I look at my phone. I have little cracks on my screen protector. I have big cracks. I need to replace it. So it looks like it's 11 o'clock, and I see that it's the 5th. Actually 12. That comes into play later. It says it's the 5th. Okay. So that means my appointment's tomorrow. Okay. Well, I need to make sure I go tomorrow. Spend $30 to go. Wait in line. Walk up to the desk. I like give all the information, everything. She's like, your appointment's tomorrow at 10:45. And I'm like, what, the 6th? And she's like, no, it's the 5th. I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, you're fine. And I slowly walk outside. And I spend about $10 to get back home. I tried to mute it, chat.
Bocath one pack.
Don't pat me! I don't need your pity!
It's okay, Boca. We still love you.
I'm just sad I spent about $40 that I'm gonna have to spend again tomorrow. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Oh, looky 10!
Should have gone with a spiked shield to write your schedule on.
I'ma stab you! Aussie MENACES? What? Why are you guys making me watch? You guys are getting me to watch weirder and weirder stuff.
Australia has a lot of spiders.
Because we are widos.
Recently, we found a new one, because of course we fucking did. And the new one is the most certified Australian moment I've ever seen. For a bit of context, one of the several thousand spider species we are home to is the Sydney funnel web, the deadliest spider on the planet. Because of course it's down here. Where the fuck else did you think you were going to find it? These scary looking fuckers are highly venomous and can flatline you with a bite in 15 minutes. And if you think wearing thick clothes will save you, be aware the bastards have fangs long enough to punch through shoe leather. Now, why do I bring these little nightmares up? What is the one thing worse than a spider rocking armor-piercing rounds that can send you to heaven with same-day delivery? A bigger spider rocking the same perk setup. That's right, Australian scientists have found a brand new species of this funnel web that is even bigger. How much bigger? Well, the standard Sydney funnel web grows to around 5 centimetres or 2 inches. And I mean, if you're asking me, 2 inches is more than enough. 2 inches is actually fucking huge. By comparison, this is the new one. It's twice the fucking size, cunt. 4 inches.
I don't like it.
Eight-legged menace to the animal kingdom. But that isn't even the best part. You see, do you know what they named this thing? Do you know what professional scientists named a supersized version of the most dangerous spider on the entire fucking planet? The Newcastle Big Boy. Deadliest spider on the entire fucking globe. Big Boy. Only in Australia. Australia has a lot of spiders, but recently we found a new one. Wombats defend themselves by
Nope, is right. No. Hard stop, no.
throwing it back. But to understand how the fuck they actually do it, you're going to need to learn a little bit about them first. You see, Australia is home to 3 species of these bad boys, all of them equally adorable, and very importantly, all being burrowers, meaning they dig out a nice little hole for themselves and the family to live in, because, like the rest of us, they can't afford a fucking house in this economy, man. They grow to around 1.3 metres in length, but despite being small, they are built like fucking tanks, weighing in at a chunky-ass 35 kilos, but despite their weight, I shit you not, they have a top speed of 40k an hour.
Hello? $40k an hour?
Now, the fact that they can nearly get booked in a school zone, coupled with them being a tank-class marsupial, forms the start of their defense strategy. So you see, a fun fact about wombat anatomy is they spect all their defense points into their ass. Rather than having fat and muscle, a wombat's cheeks are made out of 4 thick plates of fused cartilage, making it extremely solid. And this Kevlar BBL allows for the fucking funniest defense mechanism I have ever seen on an animal. Basically, if a predator tracks down Mr. Wombat to his burrow, it'll stick its head in and start trying to dig him out. In response, the wombat will line his ass up with the tunnel door, chuck the gear shifter into reverse, and fucking floor it backwards up the tunnel into his aggressor, slamming his ass into its head. The impact then squashes the predator between his steel cheeks and the roof of the burrow, straight up crushing its skull like a Mortal Kombat fatality. I cannot make this shit up. Wombats.
That would be Wombat. He talks about his butt a lot.
Defend themselves by... People get shocked when I whip out like a flawless American accent. Because I've got like a really thick Australian one, right? But I am not above just... Dude, I can't wait to go get like burgers later, man. I'm like so...
That was pretty good. That's pretty good.
Hype for burgers, dude. I fucking love cheeseburgers. Dude, you been watching the NFL? Super Bowl was crazy this year, man. Eagles just like fucking dumpstered the Chiefs, bro. It was crazy. People get shocked when I whip out like a flawless American accent. Because I've got like a real... Stepping on this rock could straight up paralyze you.
Oh, I know about this fish.
Crush me with your ass, please.
No. No? Hi, Alan.
That's because this isn't actually a rock. That is a stonefish, a species of underwater menace native to Australia. And coming as a surprise to absolutely no one, it is also the most venomous fish in the ocean. Because of course it is. As if the fucking snakes and spiders weren't enough, now I can get packed up by a pet rock. But why is this Pokemon reject such a threat to my mental health? Well, you see, stonefish use their special venom for defense. However, unlike most other animals that do this little f***er doesn't have the decency to dress like a neon sign to warn you. No, 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 no. This bastard is a 6th prestige prop hunt veteran, having evolved some of the most impressive camouflage in the animal kingdom to make hunting easier. And once they've set themselves up, they are basically indistinguishable from Patrick Starr's house. Now, this is a fairly major problem as they love to live in the shallows on the beach, and that venom we talked about earlier is stored in these 13 giant, highly toxic spines that deliver venom when pressed on. You can probably see where I'm going with this. Considering it's hard enough to spot these things while you're paying attention, if you were, say, on a romantic walk along the beach with one of the homies, and while distracted by his ethereal beauty, weren't paying too much attention to where you were walking, it would be very easy to place your foot in the wrong spot and step directly onto 13 hypodermic needles, which would then deliver a ginormous dose of neurotoxin straight into your system.
So you become Sleeping Beauty. Yay! Sleeping Beauty.
You thought it was normal venom. No, 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 no. You see, these things maxed out the toxin skill tree, producing a mixture of 2 neurotoxins that can flatline you by collapsing your heart and lungs in under an hour. And even if you survive, the sting still causes extreme pain, swelling, and tissue necrosis.
Don't look that up. No.
Australia,
Don't look up.
where even this bird can straight hit you with a Mortal Kombat fatality.
Oh, I love this guy.
Introducing the cassowary, a species of ratite native to the land down under. And for once, guys, it's not venomous. Can still flatline
I just started
you, though,
recording,
and I'm
Lock-On.
going to tell you how. You see,
crying.
these neon
I'm
chickens
sorry.
belong to the same family of birds as the emu, and as such share their impressive size, coming in at a solid 79 kilos and growing up to 6 feet tall, meaning the short kings in my audience could, in theory, mount these things like a chocobo. But what makes them stick out from emus?
Hey, look at it this way, Lock-On. It's only like 5-6 minutes that you have to grab from the main video.
Well, you see, the cassowary is basically a spec ops emu, being twice the weight, highly territorial, and most importantly, coming with a combat knife strapped to their foot. That's right, this is a cassowary claw, and it's the reason they can hit you with a fighting game finisher. You see, these claws are a full 5 inches long. And you know what I mean? Honestly, 5 inches, way too big for anything, and especially if you're something that's going inside me. And if you anger the tactical assault turkey, that is exactly what you're gonna get, as their go-to defense method is to kick you square in the gut with that kitchen knife and attempt to disembowel you. And I mean, even if the kick doesn't put your insides on the outsides, that kick is still going to send you flying, which can cause some fairly major problems. Problems like the incident that occurred in 2012, where I you not, a cassowary ran up behind a random tourist, hit the heavy attack button, and kicked the guy down a small cliff into the ocean. I mean, luckily he survived, but the fact that I live in a country where at any point I could be hit with a sneak attack by a kaiju turkey is f***ing terrifying. This
Kaiju turkey. Kaiju turkey.
kangaroos can and will beat you up.
Kangaroos
That's
are
right,
out here,
just-
man. The way you fight a kangaroo is you grab its neck. I kid you not. I'm sorry, Lockhart.
It's not venomous doesn't mean it can't knock you on your ass, and Australia's most iconic marsupial can do just that.
No, I'm not a kangaroo.
Because they are white.
That's how you fight a kangaroo. You grab its neck. You keep its fists away from you. Because their arms aren't that long. If your arms are long enough, you can grab their neck and like hold it upwards. And it'll keep their fists away from you. Because all of their... Actually... But don't, like, hold it up. Because if you hold it up, it will kick you.
The best way to fight a kangaroo is with a truck.
Well, no. I'll show you a video of someone, like, stopping a kangaroo. Actually, I think you're supposed to hold its chest, not its neck. Supposed to hold it somewhere in the middle where it can't really get a good footing. Like, you got to keep pushing it. So it can't get a good footing. And it'll get annoyed and run. It'll walk away.
Bigger than you think they are. With our biggest species of roo coming in at a ridiculous 2.8 meters in length. And with the iconic hop, they've got a vertical jump of 3 meters.
10 feet.
I mean, honestly, with a stat spread like that, they don't belong in the outback, they belong on a f***ing NBA
You're
court.
making me hungry.
As if that wasn't enough, they're also built like tanks, weighing in at a full 90 kilos of roid-raging rabbit muscle, and being able to move way faster than anything that heavy has
See
any
a
right to.
spider.
Pegging the
Burn the
speedo
house
at a
down.
max of
See a
70k
kangaroo?
an hour.
You died.
Meaning if you make them angry, a juiced up rat the size of a small car is going to run your ass down and beat the f***ing brakes off you. And I'm not kidding when I say they really will rock your shit, because roos are professional kickboxers, with males routinely fighting MMA to win female attention. When they fight, kangaroos will lean back on their tails as a stabilizer and immediately start scratching and kicking the ever-loving shit out of one another. And those kicks have enough force to crack bone. And as if getting drop-kicked by a muscled marsupial wasn't bad enough, they also for some reason have the same bite force as a grizzly bear, because why not? Now, even with all of this, there are still animals stupid enough to view a roo as lunch. Which brings me to the most terrifying thing that they do. When threatened, kangaroos will hop into a body of
I get it,
water
you near to
and
choke
wait
and
for
stomp
whatever is
behind so they
chasing them
can't
to
kick
follow
you.
them in. Once the predator enters the water, the kangaroo will wrap its arms around their neck and just straight up drown them. What the f***, man? I share a country with psychopathic tren rats.
It's a psychopathic rabbit. Well, I don't think you grab their neck. I think it's you push their chest. Because if you're pushing them, they can't stabilize themselves. I think that's what it is. Wait, let me look at this. You don't want it to stabilize itself. You don't want it to stabilize... Oh, is that a wallaby? Well, yeah, he had the height advantage. But the idea is you're pushing it off its tail so it can't kick you. Because that's the scary part. Shut up! I'm not a kangaroo.
Touching this plant will put you in the hospital.
I'm dying.
This is the Gimpy
I'm
plant,
dying.
a piece of foliage native to the land down under. And surprising no one, not only is the thing venomous, it is in fact the most painful plant on the planet. Because yeah, no, of course, man.
I've seen this video. This gives me, not nightmares, very bad imagery. You're gonna have very bad imagery in a second.
Even the fucking leaves down here have a problem with me. Growing in the rainforests of northern Queensland, these hell bushes are covered in tiny hairs. that upon closer inspection aren't hairs at all and are actually thousands of hypodermic needles waiting to stab you and break off inside your skin if you so much as brush them. Once inside you, these needles will inject you with, I am not kidding, neurotoxin and cause absolutely excruciating pain. I mean, like comedic levels of pain. With one person describing it as being covered in hot acid and electrocuted, and another woman saying that it was straight up more painful than childbirth and she'd given birth 4 times. And the f***ed up part is, the neurotoxin isn't even lethal. So this spiteful c*** of a plant is hurting you purely for the love of the game. Mind you, there are reports of people saying getting stung by this thing is actually worse than being put in the ground. This is because Groot's little hellspawn cousin here can continue hurting you for literal years after being stung. This is because those thousands of little hypodermic needles are actually made out of silicon, meaning your body can't break them down. And with how thin they are, your skin will usually close up over the top of them, meaning that these neurotoxin-emitting slivers can sit inside your skin for literal years, releasing more neurotoxin any time that they're moved or disturbed. This constant, chronic, agonizing pain is so unbelievably bad that there have even been records of, trying not to get banned here, people Alt F4ing existence to make it stop. This particular incident came from a man who accidentally used one of the plant leaves as toilet paper.
I could just imagine the pain. I don't even want to imagine it, but my brain's like, oh my god. Death.
I don't think it gets much worse than neurotoxin to the nuts.
The butthole, man. The butthole would hurt. You know, one of the most sensitive parts of your body is your butthole.
This bird has to rearrange its organs and skeleton just to lay an egg. This cute little guy is the kiwi bird, a species of ratite native to New Zealand this time, and the absolute poster child for getting cucked by evolution. You see, this walking featherball is actually directly related to the emu, ostrich, and cassowary, being a member of the same family of flightless birds. However, there is a problem. You see, the rest of the kiwi's bloodline actually looked up a build guide before picking their stat spread, and as such made sure to trade the whole flying thing for something useful. With all of his cousins specking into
One didn't been nice.
speed, size, and some kind of offensive capability. So that leaves the question, what did the kiwi pick to make up for not flying? Absolutely f***ing nothing. Kiwis are tiny in comparison to their relatives, coming in at only 4 kilos in weight and 50 centimeters tall. This is because kiwis evolved largely on an island with no natural predators, so they downsized and traded out the knife feet and bloodlust for just being a little guy with a good attitude, which honestly worked pretty well for them, until the British did British things, and now they have to deal with cats and dogs trying to eat them. And considering this build was not designed for PvP, they have been clapped so hard by invasive species that they are now unfortunately an endangered animal. But getting shot
God save the Kiwis! God save the Kiwis!
after by the British is just the beginning of the generational violation of the kiwi, because these poor feathered fruits can't even reproduce without getting f***ed over. You see, the kiwi bird's cousins are famous for laying huge eggs. I'm talking hit your protein macros in one meal-sized eggs. And you would think that is because they are large. And you would be wrong, because their vertically challenged cousins have to lay eggs the same
kiwi,
size.
even
A
making an egg
kiwi
is
bird
pain.
lays eggs 20% the size of their body. With the egg being so bloody large, it rearranges their internal organs and stretches their rib cage just to be able to hold the thing. For reference, that is like a human giving birth to a 15-kilo child. That's not a bun in the oven anymore. That's a whole f***ing bakery. This bird has to rearrange its organs and skeleton.
That's a big egg. Alright, I'm gonna go get some more water, because I ran out of water. I forgot to fill it up before I left today.